Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bladensburg Town Council meeting for Monday, July 13th, 2026. We are now called to order. At this time, we'll begin tonight's meeting with the opening prayer by Councilmember Dixon.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Father, we thank you. Thank you for bringing us here, bringing us together this evening. Grant us wisdom, discernment, and humility as we serve our community. Help us to listen with open minds and speak with respect and make decisions that promotes justice, unity, and the well-being of all residents. Guide our leaders, protect our officers. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Councilmember Dixon. For those who are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. At this time, the next item on tonight's agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve? Motion's been made by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. In terms of corrections for the agenda, what we discussed previously was the addition of summer recess under presentations to add patriotic committee, and then updates from our representatives. I believe I saw Ms. Gloria from Diana Fennell's office and Vanessa from Senator Augustine's office, and you're with Augustine as well. Okay, so we'll do that. And then looking ahead to page 2 under financial business, adding item B for community grants, allocations, and then item C for council discretionary funds. So council, would those amendments be acceptable?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So with that, I'll call for the motion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. 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 Any nays? The ayes have it. The revised agenda is approved. At this time, again, we'll jump right into presentations, beginning with Ms. Renee Green from Patriotic Committee. And as you're coming up, I want to say a special thank you for supporting our Independence Day event and sweating all the sweat equity you paid out there.
So that leads into exactly what I was going to say. So for my patriotic report tonight, I want to thank Ray Jeffries and give him a shout out. For planning another incredible fireworks celebration. You know, he started planning that in February, so that kind of gives you an idea of how much work goes into that. But it was such a great way to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our country. And it was over 100 degrees that night. So it takes so many people to make an event like that successful, and the heat added to the challenge on everyone. So I want to thank everyone who assisted, and I think there was about 1,000 people that showed up. I also want to thank the Mayor James and the town council, the staff, police, the fire department, public works especially. Oh my goodness. Sean from Code Enforcement, he was riding around the whole time with a cooler of ice and water, making sure everyone was okay too. It was just incredible. It really was. And everyone had a wonderful time. I think, I'm surprised no one passed out. The only issue was a little dog that got lost. And I want to thank, I was at the table, at the town table, handing out all kinds of wonderful gifts and prizes and t-shirts and clocks, everything. And you know what? It was a tough night. But I had the police and I had the explorers assisting me. Yeah. So, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I had like 30 people helping me, and there was a line of about 30 people wanting gifts. So it worked out just fine. So, happy 250th anniversary to the country, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Green. We appreciate your support with all of our patriotic activities and for always being a partner, and again, for putting in all that sweat equity with us and rolling up your sleeves and being ready to work. We appreciate you.
Well, I did too.
Thanks. At this time, thank you. At this time, we'll hear from Delegate Diana Fennell's office. Oh, okay. She punted to Senator Augustine's office, so I guess we'll get the whole District 47 update. That works for us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa, and I'm Chief of Staff for Senator Augustine, and I'm very happy to present Helena Miskana, who is our community liaison. So if you want to tell them a little bit about yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Helena. I am from Chillum. Sorry, I'm from Chillum, Maryland.
I'm just short.
No worries. I'm from Chillum, Maryland. I live in New Carrollton. I'm part of the community, and I'm very happy to be here.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gloria. I'm from Delegate Fennell's office, and I'm just up here with her.
And we're happy that we're out of session and everything. So, we're here always just to be here as a resource. So if there's anything that you want to report to us or anything that we can help you with, whether it's like, State Highway, PEPCO, like whatever's going on, let us know how we can be a support to you guys. So I think that's kind of the gist of it all. Our cookout will come in a few months, but I'll give you updates once we solidify everything.
Thank you. And Vanessa, just a heads up before you take your seat for the September meeting, we did have to push the SHA presentation from tonight's work session to the 5:30 meeting. So I was texting with Senator earlier.
Okay.
He committed to being here because it involves a state agency.
Yeah.
So I'll just make sure we send it to both you and him when we send the Zoom link over to you.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. And Helena, it's nice to meet you. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
So that concludes the presentations for this evening. So we'll now move into item 6 for the approval of the meeting minutes for Monday, June 8th. Council, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions regarding the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. 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 Any nays? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. At this time, we'll move into item 7, which is public comment, where we hear from town residents. Mr. Reinhardt, we'll turn it over to you to call the names.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have several people signed up. And again, if you're a town resident, please go up to the microphone. You have 3 minutes. If you're not a town resident, just let us know and we could just check you off the list. The first one up is Ms. Susan McCutcheon.
Start to bring my own microphone, do it from the, I come every time. Hi, Susan McCutcheon, and I live in Bladensburg on Spring Road. There's so many salient issues, I don't even know where to start. First of all, I'm very concerned about the piling on from the federal government, about piling on to blue states, about anybody who wants to do anything to make the situation more humane and reasonable and transparent for immigration. There's heavy weight coming on to the government of Maryland as one of the many blue states who are being harassed by the federal government about funding and threatened, et cetera. And it's very frustrating, and I know we have a lot of concerned people who want to do something and be right, including our council, and I do, and Mr. Wood has been wonderful, that we have been corresponding, and especially Anna has been corresponding, but we have been talking about all the different issues and angles of what is happening, and I'm so pleased that we're going to be on the I hope will be on the September agenda. I know on the September agenda, but to speak about different thoughts that the community has, and openness in the community, and the acting chief as well. And it's been very open, and I appreciate that. That's something I do appreciate about Bladensburg. Willing to listen and to hear what's being said. And it doesn't mean automatically everything is going to happen the way people want it, because it maybe can't for whatever reason, but at least be reasonable, listen, and that is what I see in this council, and I've seen this for many years, for many other issues. I want to bring up about voting. Please pay attention to, well, I'm on everybody's email about webinars and Zoom calls, et cetera, but about voting issue webinars and Zooms. There's a lot that's out there because there's been, from the top, there's a very much the pressure, as we all know, about trying to stop people from voting or making it difficult for people to vote. And we can't sit out, we can't be so discouraged that we don't go out to vote, that we don't pay attention to what's going on and look to the tricks and things that are going on, because it's very sinister, just as sinister as ICE is, just as sinister as many of these things are. So there's so much going on, and I'll add on to it hyperscale data centers and the lack of transparency with the Prince George's County Council that is disgusting in its lack of transparency, appointing people who should not be appointed to a planning board who have had no idea about what to do with a planning board because they have no experience. And it seems to be at the behest of powers that be, which is just as bad locally as it is statewide and as it is federally, people appointed who should not be. And they need to be more transparent, and we have to demand that. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCutcheon.
Thank you.
Mayor, our next person signed up is Miss Anna Greenstone.
Hi, Mayor James, council, town staff. I'm Anna Greenstone, a resident of Bladensburg, and I'm returning tonight. And I'm still asking for you to take more action regarding ICE's presence and operations in Bladensburg. I'm really appreciative that you all have welcomed this dialogue, that we have been in touch, as Susan said. And that as a concerned group of residents, we've been able to meet with the town administrator and Chief Fishcorn, and that this issue has been added to September's work session. Thank you. However, it is important that we see some concrete action and change before September. You've expressed interest in creating a document to share some of the policies that Bladensburg PD does have in place already to protect and support residents in the case of an ICE encounter or detainment. And we'd like to know, what is your goal for when that will be complete? You've expressed interest in appointing a staff member as a community liaison who could work closer with concerned residents. And I'd like to know, when will that decision be made of who that person will be? There are so many other ways to take action, even if you remain against limiting ICE's access to certain properties in town. We have the ideas and we'll bring them to you in September, but we'd love to see more proactive problem solving also from the government now. More ideas and action toward rebuilding trust with residents, toward reducing chances for residents to be harmed. This bears repeating. Federal immigration agents under this administration are not consistently operating in reasonable ways or safe ways. Since our meeting, ICE has killed Lorenzo Salgado Arujo in Texas, who, as you likely know, was not even the target of ICE's search. He didn't deserve to die regardless, but he was not even the target of ICE's search. And in recent weeks, ICE has become increasingly more aggressive and intimidating toward lawful community observers in Prince George's County. And that includes recklessly speeding on our roads, recording observers, following them to their homes as intimidation tactics. And so from Human Rights Watch, I'll just add that in the 500 days since Trump's inauguration in 2025, 52 people have died in ICE custody in the US, and the rate of deaths is the highest level that it's been in 10 years. And so I just ask that we continue to take more action now, hopefully to prevent a death like Lorenzo's from happening in Bladensburg or Prince George's County. Thank you.
Mayor, next person signed up is Foster Geddes.
This is my first time giving a statement, so just bear with me. I think I've got this thing on. Also worth noting, I am Bladensburg resident, and I'm a Ward 1 constituent. I've been seeing lately online on the town's Instagram page that the police department has been making many efforts to court trust from community through initiatives like walks with a cop, coffee with a cop, and notably ice cream with a cop on Friday, while at the same time undermining that trust by allowing ICE to park in the police station lot. The jurisdiction of that lot and who can park there is not clear or well understood by community members. When ICE parks there, it gives the loud impression that the Bladensburg Police Department and the town administration support and welcome ICE into the community. It creates the perception of collaboration, whether or not that may be actually happening. When ICE agents are allowed in the police department with doors held open, it says loud and clear to anyone watching, we support ICE in our neighborhoods, parks, and municipal buildings. It says we will take action to support ICE, even an action as simple as holding the door open for an agent while taking no action to support and protect residents. When Bladensburg police are seen as casually chatting with ICE agents in public, it tells resident onlookers that Bladensburg police like and support these guys, approve of what they're doing, and like how they're doing it. It tells residents that Bladensburg police is on ICE's side. Public's perception is an incredibly important aspect of trust. Will you signal to Bladensburg residents that you're on their side? Laws that prevent local police collaboration with ICE and bar the use of certain properties or facilities by them have already been passed by Maryland and Prince George's County. I'm wondering, what will Bladensburg do? The precedent has already been set. As we know, the Maryland Community Trust Act was passed this spring. The word trust is in the title. PG County also passed its own law, the Community Safe Spaces Act. Section 2553, the purpose is clearly stated in the Community Safe Spaces Act to uphold the county's values of equity, inclusiveness, dignity, and justice for all. Maintain community trust by separating county services from federal law and immigration enforcement, and limit the use of county property for federal immigration enforcement purposes to enhance public trust. A legal challenge to the Community Trust Act, the Maryland law, was filed on July 9th by the Justice Department. If the state of Maryland is successfully sued, what laws will there be left to protect our residents? We must pass our own. We must show our residents that they can trust their police department, the mayor, and the council to look out for them. Right now, we know that the Bladensburg Police Department cannot collaborate with ICE because of the law handed down by the state. But should that law disappear, what will Bladensburg Police do then? I just have a little bit left. Can I? Quickly, please. Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, this is my first time. Even an action to do nothing and not intervene is a choice, and the residents of Bladensburg are taking note. Mayor James may say no to designating Bladensburg as a sanctuary city, decrying it as performative action. If so, then I implore you to take some action, any other action to show the most vulnerable residents of our town that the city is looking out for them and they can trust you. Community trust initiatives like Ice Cream with the Cop could be a step forward. Will you let the presence of ICE take you 10 steps back? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Geddes. Next person, Sean.
Mr. Steve White.
Yeah, I'm Steve White. I live on Chilton Road. We have a stormwater drain going throughout the town, carry the stormwater that drains from the streets and so forth. But those stormwater drains are now clogged up with debris, and they're overgrown vines and trees clogging it up. But the biggest concern I have is there's several gates that are unlocked and sections of fence that are down, and children and teens are down there playing in the stormwater drain, and I'm concerned that someone's going to get hurt or trapped there in the drain. So, I've talked to a couple of council members and the police chief, and in the past we've tried to go with 311. It's very difficult to get them to do anything. And so I appreciate the police chief and Roger are going to contact the county and try to get them out here to straighten it out before we have any problems with flooding or people getting hurt. But also, the last time they were out here, 2020, we had a big flood in Bladensburg, and that was the last time the stormwater drains were cleaned out. We had 20-foot trees and vines growing in there, and it was pretty bad, but they did do a good job once you get them out here. So I appreciate, the help from the police and code officer, and I would encourage anyone that sees any drains clogged up in the streets or throughout the town, notify the town so that it could be taken care of. The other concern I have is a neighbor said her car was hit and totaled by a hit-and-run driver. Another neighbor's car was recently broken into. There's a proposal to keep the town vehicle at the mayor's residence for official business and meeting use, but I'm concerned that keeping the town vehicle at a residence would subject it to being hit or vandalized. I'd rather see the vehicle kept at the police station where it's more secure, and I think it should be available to the council members too if they need it for town meetings or business. Sign up and reserve it, and keep a record of where you're going, the mileage, and so forth. I think it should be available to all the council members to use. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. White. It's good to see you. We were wondering where you've been all these many months.
The next person signed up is Mr. Marlon Cruz.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Town of Bladensburg. My name is Marlon Cruz, and I'm a resident of Ward 1 on Quincy Street. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak in front of you all. I am here to share my concern over the federal enforcement in the Town of Bladensburg and around the Town of Bladensburg. I will continue to seek some action from the Town of Bladensburg. I know that it is very difficult to act. We are our own municipal government, though. Let's remember the reason why governments exist, because people like us form them. Towns are incorporated, right, by people who want to incorporate them. And so that's why the beauty of the United States. I work with people who are from the UK, and so they are very impressed by the way that in the United States that you can get things done simply by wanting to do them, right? So it's very it sort of made me grateful for where I am and where I live, and the democracy that we still are latching onto as hard as possible. So I really implore that we are able to act, and like some of my fellow neighbors have shared the terrible statistics that are continuing to happen, and they continue to occur. So I will continue to fight no matter how tired I am, and I will continue to organize within the community and show the demand and the need for action. And that's really what I was asking for. Thank you so much for your openness to meet with me. I hope that we can continue to meet and continue to chat. I will continue to work hard as well. No matter what needs to be done on my end, I'm trying my best to collaborate with the Town of Bladensburg. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Mr. Reinhardt?
And Mayor, our last person signed up is the Honorable Walter James.
Thank you.
Good
evening, everyone.
You have a comment?
Oh, there we go. Good evening, everyone. Walter James, a resident of Bladensburg, residing on Doris Court here in the town of Bladensburg. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for this opportunity. Before I get started, I just want to say to the Mayor and Council, thank you so much for your responsible and conscious leadership in moving our town forward. And I do want to congratulate the Mayor on her elevation to MML President. And this is not only a promotion, I believe this is not only a promotion for the mayor, but it's a promotion for the town of Bladensburg. And I believe that what they say, the waves rises all ships. You know, I'm probably messing up that quote, but it's something that is not just a promotion for the mayor, but it's a promotion for the town as a whole. So I rise in support of a resolution to amend the personnel manual as it relates to take-home vehicles access for the elected officials. I do support the mayor having a take-home vehicle. Many of you know I've sat in that seat for 12 years. And there's an unexpected, unwritten rule as it relates to the roles and responsibilities of the mayor that come from the residents, that come from all echelons of government, whether that's the county, that's the state, or the federal level. There's immediate response. This is not a personal benefit to the mayor. This is a measure that's put in place by a resource by the municipal government that allows the mayor to serve the residents effectively whenever and wherever it's needed. So I encourage the council to really consider this when it comes to this is not a personal benefit to an individual. This is something for that position of the mayor who is in a position to respond whenever residents need it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. James.
Mayor, I was just advised, Miss Vanessa from Malcolm Augustine's office would like to, she signed up to speak also, but.
Sorry, I didn't know public comment. If it's okay. Did you have any? Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Part of the reason we came, now I know, now I won't do it again. But I'm very grateful for you guys being so open. And part of the reason we're also here is because Senator Augustine just also wants to echo what the community members are saying. You know, we're here to instill that public trust. And I know you guys do everything that you can, you know, to support our local residents and everything. And I just know that within our community, just being Hispanic and like my family, like my extended family, I see the fear that they face every day. Like, you know, you go out and you don't know if you're going to come back. And I feel like there's already this fear of law enforcement as a whole, and now it's just been exacerbated with everything going on in the federal government, that I think that, you know, when anything comes down, like domestic violence, the smallest things that you can think of, now that there's no trust, it's really hard for people to come and speak about the smallest things ever, because they're like, the trust is gone. And, you know, once the trust is gone, you truly do have to rebuild it. And it's not something that comes overnight. It comes with action, right? So that's something we just really want to echo. And just like, we had partners from Megamark reach out to us because, you know, they're very important to our community. And this was regarding something that was going on in Baltimore City, where there was ICE in the parking lot and everything. And so what we did is, through another contact from a different senator, we said, hey, do you think the police can, like the city police can stay in the station, so maybe like they can, you know, move their cars or something? And that did end up happening. And, you know, most of them, once they saw more police presence and there wasn't that, you know, I'm not sure how to describe it, but they did move out. So it really does start with the small actions. So we just want to echo what the community is saying, and thank you so much.
And Vanessa, briefly, I spoke to the senator at MML about this and asked for specific support. That was over a month ago, just to let him know this is a rising concern, and we need to understand from his office the state response. As a municipal government, we can't outweigh the federal government.
Of course.
We don't have jurisdiction over them.
No,
and so my ask, and I'll just mention this to you as well, is separately, if we can just continue that conversation in terms of the legislation, because there are bills that were passed, but they don't take effect for several months.
Yes.
And so the community is like, why aren't you doing anything? We can't violate state policy. We can't violate federal policy. And so this really has to stop being an us versus them, and really us coming together and understanding, in light of decisions that have been made by the state, what can we legally do
Okay.
As I said to the resident, Mr. Cruz, on Friday, there are residents in our community that ICE doesn't have their information, and there's certain actions that if we take them, we're now putting those residents at risk. So they're not just coming for the person on their checklist, but we've now opened it up for the
So then
folks
they
that they didn't know were here. This is a very sensitive issue, and we cannot afford to put more people in jeopardy. And we also can't afford to put our town in position where now we're the ones being sued. Our budget is a drop in, not even a drop in the bucket to a federal administration. Our budget's a joke to them. And so what I'm asking for through you is some serious support in how we move this forward.
Of course. So I know Senator Augustine can't be here because he's out of town. But I know this is definitely, I think this is a good start. You know, this is how it all starts. You know, community comes up and this is really how we collectively come together so we can move together, because us, you know, we're never separate in this issues. We collaborate all the time. So I'm just thankful that you gave me the time.
For
and
sure.
Everything.
And I also want to bring balance too. This isn't all over Bladensburg. We've had these instances with our police parking lot because it is public property. And there's been issues, you know, with the fire department that was also brought up. And so I don't want to generalize this to make it seem like ICE is running through every corner of Bladensburg. That's simply not true. I want to deal with the facts along with the council and the community. And again, just make sure that we are knowledgeable about what the state efforts are and what responsibilities and what options we have. And I'm not just picking on you. I sat down with Governor Moore 3 weeks ago and had the same conversation. So I'm asking for help, and we'll follow up accordingly. Okay?
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. All right, so that concludes public comment. And in moving down the agenda, first, let me just thank all of our residents who came out to express your public comments. We do value your time and appreciate you coming out. And we'll be following up as we have been. As you heard tonight, there's already been meetings addressing some of these issues. Some issues don't get solved in one conversation, but if you're committed to the process, then we welcome that opportunity to continue working with you. Mr. Weitz, I know we saw the email, things are already in motion, so we'll continue following up with you accordingly as well. We do not have any items under unfinished business, so at this time, Mr. Wood, if you could do a work session review, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. So at the 5:30 work session, a number of topics were discussed. 52nd Avenue update, as the mayor stated, we had to push that to September. We did just have an update on the joint effort. And again, I'll say at this session, the fantastic collaboration between SHA and Bladensburg Public Works Department and Code and Police Department for assistance in really cleaning up that stretch. It is now safe and certainly much more more beautiful, I guess I would say, than it was before. So just a major thank you to all those that worked on that effort. Port Town bus operations, I think I got some clear directive there from the council on working with Comar Manor to put together a plan for the town to officially take over all operations for the Port Town bus and give us a little bit of leeway on what the next steps will be, and we'll be bringing that back before council. The Palace Project just kind of did a general overview of the work that was done in partnership with the University of Maryland and what the next steps will be, as well as sharing the renderings with council and hopefully getting a digital version to put up online. The Gloves Up, Guns Down, the chief did a great job providing an overview of the week-long camp that's coming up into July, and then the year-long mentorship program that is going to be taking place in collaboration both with the county and with a number of other municipalities and nonprofit partners. So we're extremely excited about that. The grants and scholarship program discussion, That is something that will be taken up a little bit later on with the amended agenda, but just reviewing a number of applicants that applied for a $2,000 grant from the town, and the pilot discussion. We got some clarity on that with regards to the agreement that we'll be sharing with Hamlet Woods as they finalize that project and as residents are moving in. So I think that captures the work session review. Council, I'll hand it back over if there are any questions or highlights that I didn't mention.
I think that covers everything. Council, were there any additions for the review? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Town Administrator, for that recap. Now we're on to item 10, which is new business, beginning with the resolution amending personnel manual regarding elected officials' access to town vehicles. So we'll turn it over to you.
All right. Good evening again. This resolution is amendment to personnel manual regarding the authorization for mayoral and elected official vehicle use. Would you like me to read the whole thing?
Not in its entirety. I think you have the abbreviated cover sheet. Sorry, still flipping. Oh, no. It's the attachment you gave us.
The
revised motion.
Yes. Oh, yes, sorry. And the motion to direct?
Yes.
Yep. Yes. So in addition to the resolution, there's a motion to direct the town administrator to authorize the provision of dedicated municipal vehicle to the mayor. Those go hand in hand. Just to overview, it's amending the personnel manual and then a specific motion to direct the town administrator to make a city-owned vehicle available moving forward.
All right, thank you, Town Administrator Wood. So, Council, is there a motion to direct Town Administrator Wood to proceed with the amendment to the personnel manual regarding personnel clause for elected officials' use of town vehicles? Once it's on the floor, we can go into the questions. We just need a motion in a second, and then we can go into discussion. You had, for the overview, did you need more clarity from Mr. Wood? He can.
It was just questions, a couple of questions I had. First, I'd like to say, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I did bring it up that the mayor does a lot for the town of Bladensburg, and I mean, she's all over the place when it comes to, doing, being the mayor of Bladensburg, and I did bring it up. I think she needs a car to do that. I mean, you all see the good work that's going on, what she's doing, and I did bring it up, and I stand by it. But I do have a question. Are they just, I read both of them, just for a year? So maybe that's what.
Great question, Councilwoman. So it was amended to align, and I apologize, it was amended this morning to align with the personnel manual. So similar to other town staff, it will be reauthorized as part of the budget. So assuming those vehicles are available, the personnel manual essentially says that they have access to that. So it doesn't have to be authorized separately. And this, sorry, I apologize, was amended to reflect that process. So when you pass the budget next year, it will be passed and authorized through that same process. So it doesn't require a separate act every year, which is how it was originally written in your packet, so I apologize.
Okay, well, no, I just.
Yeah, Councilmember Blunt, he made those updates and put the copies up here to address that same question.
Okay.
But also, it's clearly understood that whoever the mayor is, if there's an issue where we're short vehicles and the chief needs those vehicles, or Public Works or whoever, they can be recalled back. So it's a privilege as long as the resource is available, with the understanding that it can be called back if the staff resource is a higher priority.
Okay. I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Councilmember Dixon. Any comments or questions before calling the vote?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilmember Dixon.
I just want to echo what Councilmember Blunt says in regards to the mayor getting a vehicle. She does a lot of work for the town, and using your personal vehicle. Remember, mayor and council is not employed by the town full-time. We have our own jobs. And so for her to be jumping here and there, it takes money and gas to actually take care of her own vehicle as well. So I do echo and totally agree, because you do a lot for this town. You are doing a lot for this town. You have done and still doing. So I agree.
Thank you, Councilmember Dixon. And I just want to clarify, really, this is a policy that's gone back to when David Harrington was mayor. So it's been assigned to the vehicle, and I appreciate the personal comments, but it's just whoever is mayor is always called upon the most and has to be the most flexible to get wherever you need to get at a moment's notice. And so just want to call back that it's not for Keisha, it is for that position. Yeah, whoever, I could be gone tomorrow, whoever is in that position, that burden is put on them, and I think the town should give adequate resources to meet the burden. So if there are no other questions, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. 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 Any nays? The ayes have it, the motion passes. And then item B is with respect, oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I know it's been passed and everything, and like you said, just for clarification with the public, it's like if there's a need that arises and, you know, and it needs the police department or whatever they need the vehicle, it can be, you know, recalled and put back into the fleet, so.
And then for a separate motion regarding the resolution for amendments to personnel manual regarding authorization for mayoral and elected official vehicle use, is there a motion to approve? Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any comments or questions? Again, this is now making the personnel policy consistent with the vote the council has taken. But any comments or questions before the vote?
I do have a comment. I just hope if there ever become a mayor that if that mayor doesn't work as good as you have done, they don't get that car.
It is, there's the recall provision in there, and it's not in fine print either. So if it's not used right, that is in there. Any other comments or questions before calling the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. 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 Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you all so much. The next item under new business is the resolution declaring surplus equipment and authorizing its disposal. Town Administrator Wood, will turn it over to you for the presentation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council. Oh, wait, just position. Okay, sorry. Oh, all right, here we go. This is the resolution authorizing the disposition of 3 surplus Bladensburg Police Department vehicles through a municipal auction vendor. Would you like me to read the whole resolution? Or?
No, the abbreviated work. It was posted, so according to the town attorney, you can read the abbreviated notation. Unless you really want to. I do not want to get in the way of you reading a good resolution tonight.
While I really appreciate that offer, Madam Mayor, I will politely pass. And if there are any questions, I will happily defer to the chief on the specifics of the vehicles. But they are no longer vehicles that we're able to utilize at this point. Chief, are there any specifics that you wanted to mention about why we're surplusing them?
Yeah, and even if you could just take a step back too, because some people may not recall, I think it was this time last year or sometime in 2025, at the time Major Dickerson was helping to get rid of the old vehicles. So just to give people an understanding of why this is even necessary would be helpful.
Okay, good morning, Mayor and Council. We're trying to update our fleet, and these are vehicles that are, 2 of them are 9 years old with high mileage, over 100,000 miles. The maintenance cost on them is not worth getting the vehicles fixed. The other one is a 2015, so it's 11 years old. We don't want to have a bunch of our older vehicles just sitting around town. We're paying for, we have insurance and all that on them, so it's something that we want to get rid of and use the money when we go to purchase new vehicles.
Thank you, Chief. And so with that, Mr. Wood, if you want to just read the opening text, and then I'll call for the vote for the resolution. And we actually need the number. I noticed that wasn't there. At the top of.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, for section 10, item B.
Yep, resolution number.
Oh, sorry, so it's not on mine. I see it. Yeah, I see it on Councilmember Brown's packet. It's just not on mine. That's fine. No, all good.
Oh, sorry.
Item A.
I don't know how that.
It's all good.
What in the world? Okay. So yes, resolution number 02-2027, resolution authorizing the disposition of 3 surplus Bladensburg Police Department vehicles through a municipal auction vendor. And whereas the town of Bladensburg owns and maintains a fleet of vehicles for use by the Bladensburg Police Department and conduct of town business, and whereas the town administrator has identified 3 police vehicles that are no longer suitable for continued service due to age, mileage, and cost of repairs relative to the current value and further described below. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Whereas the vehicles proposed for disposition are the following 3 vehicles. So good.
That is perfect. Thank you so much, Town Administrator Wood. So with that, Council, is there a motion to approve resolution number 02-2027? Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Now, are there any comments or questions before calling the vote? No? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you, T.A. Wood, and thank you, Chief, for being prudent and just removing those resources and not wasting money insuring them, and certainly not putting money into repairing those vehicles when the value is as much as what it is to repair them. So we appreciate the foresight there. The other item under section 10 is item D regarding summer recess, and this was amended in the agenda this evening. Council, is there a motion to approve summer recess for the month of August?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions before calling the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much, Council. I'm sure the staff will appreciate that break from us, but we'll still be responsive as always to our constituents' concerns during that time. Is it not on?
Oh, no, you're on. Point of order, Madam Mayor. I think we missed the resolution amending the personnel manual to establish foreign language proficiency pay.
I breezed right past B. My apologies. Let me go back. Now I realize my error. They were in the same, I think I had them in the same tab, so I overlooked it. That's my fault.
You did? I was like, oh.
She was like, wait. No, this is an important one because staff in the all-hands meeting brought this up, the importance of recognizing the skill set for bilingual skills and being adequately compensated. So I definitely want to thank you, Town Administrator, but also want to thank Chief Frischkorn, because right after that meeting, you took action, putting pen to paper to write out things that could help us to make sure that we put a good plan in place. So the staff feels that they're being heard when they bring these issues and concerns to us. So once again, Town Administrator Wood, if you want to read the full resolution, you are welcome to, or you can read the preamble, and then we'll call for the vote.
I will read the preamble, Madam Mayor. Resolution 01-2027, resolution establishing a bilingual pay differential policy for the town employee and authorizing the development of and implementing standard operating procedure. If there are questions, again, I will hand that over to the chief, but I know this was discussed at the June 8th work session. And the only other highlight that I would make is in the resolution, it clearly identifies that the funding, as the chief said, would be coming from traffic enforcement measures specifically.
And you're good with that, Chief? Pulling from your budget, just want to make sure.
Yes, it's mostly involving public safety with police and dispatch. So
Okay.
that can come out from there.
Mr. Hall, you have a question about it?
Yeah, but I think
I was just reading your face, that's all.
Yeah, I think when it first came up, I was wondering, was this for town employees, period? And what I think we had a discussion is, you have to be able to translate to residents as well, not just being able to partially translate. Is that what I'm hearing, or?
Correct. And what was proposed to the council at the last work session was that you have to be certified. So I can't come to you and say, I'm fluent in Yoruba without being able to prove it. And so with HR, there will be a test that is administered, through a third-party company, but you'll have to, based on your skill set, you'll either be placed in basic or more advanced. So some people may be conversational, but they might not be able to help you fill out a police report because they're not fluent in the language. And so the amount of compensation will be tied to wherever you're certified, either at a basic or at advanced level. Does that help explain it?
Yeah, but what I just kind of heard, if I'm not mistaken, is I kind of heard is what you just said is like police department.
No, it's for all staff.
Right, but what we're saying was be able to translate, police stuff. Now,
No,
oh, it's
because
just
your
in
guys
general.
are frontward facing.
Right,
So I'm
okay, that's
thinking
what
about,
right.
like, some of the bilingual folks.
Uh-huh.
Again, I don't want to call names because it's personnel
Right.
matter, but if some of the guys are able
Right.
to communicate with the staff proficiently, they're eligible. It's not
Right.
just for the police department.
Right, okay. I just want to make sure because I know we had spoke about it earlier at one of our staff meetings and everything, and that's why I want to make sure. But this is the first time me hearing that it was passed or anything like that. So I just
About to be.
make sure.
Like 2
I'm
minutes,
sorry.
hopefully.
I just want to.
Don't jinx it, Mr. Hall.
Right. I just want to make sure that we're around the board with it as well. Okay.
Because that's the goal, is really enhancing our customer service and
Yes,
being
ma'am.
able to speak to people in a
Right.
language that they're comfortable with makes the staff more relatable. And honestly, it helps people to feel more comfortable opening up. And so I see your team on the front lines of that communication with residents. And they should be able to benefit from that, too, by, again, testing, being certified, and compensated accordingly.
All right. That's
All right.
clarified. Thank you
Looking
very
out
much.
for everybody, Mr.
Oh, yes,
Hall.
ma'am. That's all. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, Mayor and
Of
Council.
course. Town Administrator, anything else you wanted to add there?
No, Madam Mayor.
All right. And so the last resolution was 02-2027. So this resolution for the bilingual pay doesn't have a number in here. Are we to assume it's 03-2027, our third resolution of the new fiscal year? Just want to make sure.
Yes, Madam Mayor, 03.
Okay.
There's zero. Yeah, 03.
Okay, perfect. So council, is there a motion to approve Resolution 03-2027, establishing a bilingual pay differential policy for town employees?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any further comments or questions regarding the resolution? I do want to thank you all for being at the all-hands meeting and hearing staff concerns, because this definitely speaks to the fact that, again, we heard some of the concerns and we're working with the leadership to address them. So, council, thank you for your support. With that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Resolution 03-2027 passes. And now I believe that concludes all items under new business. Is that right, Mr. Wood? Just double checking.
Yes, under new business. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Great. We are now on to financial business, beginning with the resolution accepting the $300,000 Municipal Town Hall Grant Award. Vanessa, please thank Senator Augustine for his support with these resources, along with Delegate Fennell. I know Miss Gloria Albright left, but we appreciate the delegation's support in helping us modernize this facility. Town Administrator Wood, over to you. I'm trying to be gentle here.
Good evening, yes, and just for clarification, I'm sorry, the resolution numbers are out of order because it's how I wrote them, not, yeah, in the packet, sorry. So this is resolution number 01, first one I wrote. A resolution of the mayor and council, a resolution of the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg authorizing the execution of a state of Maryland capital projects grant agreement for the Bladensburg Municipal Center. This grant, as the mayor stated, allocates $300,000 for the continued development and design and efforts for a new municipal center. This is the next step in the process. Once assuming this passes, happens, then it will be able to go before the Department of General Services and ultimately we'll be able to begin drawing down money, hopefully here in the next couple of months. So this covers outlays that the town has already put out for work and services rendered and help us take the next steps in the process.
And also thanks to Neighborhood Design Center, because they've been a partner in this project up till now. So we couldn't have gotten this far without them. Yes. So council, is there a motion to approve Resolution 01-2026, authorizing the execution of a State of Maryland Capital Projects Grant Agreement for the Bladensburg Municipal Center project?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions before we call the vote? Everyone's jumping up and down on the inside. It's been a long time coming. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The resolution passes. Thank you so much. We look forward to the next steps. So continuing under financial business, we also have to allocate the community grants, which are offered at $2,000 per community organization, and we're authorizing up to 6 grants to close out the FY 2026 budget year. As Mr. Tonelli often calls July, this is the 13th month of the year where he's closing everything out, and so that's why there's a bit of a delay with this. Per the discussion in the council work session, the council had consensus around providing a grant to Kerrison. As many of you know, they help immigrant communities deal with paperwork issues and other counseling regarding all matters of immigration services. So we want to continue to support them. We've also identified Anacostia Watershed Society, Eco City Farms, End Time Harvest Ministry, We Lead by Example, and Good Intentions Foundation as the other recipients. So with that, there was agreement around them. Council, we just need a formal motion to approve the grants for, again, Kerrison, Anacostia Watershed Society, Eco City Farms, End Time Harvest Ministries, We Lead by Example, and Good Intentions. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember McBride. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any comments or questions regarding the allocations of the grants? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you all so much, and congratulations to all the grant recipients for the FY 2026 fiscal year. The next item under financial business is allocation of council discretionary funds, which are $500, again, closing out the fiscal year for 2026. Councilmember Dixon, I will need your recommendation. I'll run through the others while you think about yours. But Councilmember McBride requested hers go to Eco City Farms. Councilmember Brown requested that hers go to Royal Institute. Councilmember Blunt requested that hers be split between GATS, which is Deacon Barbara Gibbons' organization that focuses on senior services, and the other half going to End Time Harvest Ministries. And then for mine, I want to contribute my $500 to Royalty Institute as well. They were a good community grant recipient last year, and we just didn't have enough to go around to everyone. Councilmember Dixon, who would you like yours to go to?
I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right, so with that, council, is there a motion to approve? It didn't, I hit it, it just didn't want to cooperate. I guess it said, look, it's 8 o'clock, I'm done, I'm not working. Sorry, guys, jeez. So with that, council, is there a motion to approve the following discretionary fund allocations for Mayor James to Royalty Institute, for Councilmember Brown to Royalty Institute, for Councilmember McBride to Eco City Farms, and to Councilmember Blunt to split her allocations between GATS and End Time Harvest Ministries? Is there a motion?
I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions before calling the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. The council discretionary allocations have been made, and Councilmember Dixon, if you could just get with Mr. Tonelli, because he's going to be closing everything out this month, and we can just approve it retroactively at the September meeting. Just, we don't want trouble with the auditors, so please.
I'm still thinking, that's where I get it to David Elementary, so I'm thinking where I want
Mike's not on. Okay. All right, so that completes all of the items under financial business, right? Didn't miss anything, because again, I know we made some changes. We're now on to item number 12, which is staff reports. And Mr. Tonelli's not here, but I know, Mr. Wood, you said you would give his report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As you articulated earlier, this is the 13th month. So we are working on finalizing everything. I know in the past, a report for June hadn't been done just because it fluctuates so much between June and closing out. So there will be obviously a final report in August for the months of June and July that will reflect all of the machinations. But so far we are on target to meet our revenue projections, and we'll be in the black. Yes. So, thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. And next we have public safety. So does Chief Frischkorn get Vito's extra time? Only kidding. Sean is going to start hitting the button. I know.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just want to go over some highlights of my report. As you see, the violent crimes was up 33%, but we have such small numbers in the town. If it goes up by 3 or 4, and when it went up by 4, it looks like a big difference, but it's really not a huge difference. But it's still year-to-date is down. Our property crimes is down, year-to-date 26%. We're still having trends with theft from autos and attempt theft from autos. We have made some arrests. We have details going to try to apprehend people. A lot of times it's 1 or 2 people that can make a big impact. We have identified a juvenile that's a resident in town that has been responsible for several events. So sometimes it's just catching the person responsible, and it'll end the trend that we have. We had a lot of recent initiatives. You can look at my report online. Upcoming events, we have the Citizen Police Academy that's ongoing. We have about 9 people in that. We just had the Explorer Leadership Conference. I'm proud to say that our Explorers took the lead down there in doing a lot of mentoring with the other Explorers. Did a great job. We have Coffee with a Cop coming up at the library at 10 a.m. on the 16th. We have Ice Cream with a Cop. That's also coming up on the 17th. And then we have the boxing camp that's going through July 21st to the 31st. And that's going to be down at the Salvation Army on Edmonston. The stop sign cameras were approved by the county. We've talked to the vendor. So we're going to initially start with 3 or 4 cameras. We're looking at different locations. We had all the studies done. It's just a matter of having them installed now. So in the near future, we'll have them installed, and on problem areas, we're putting them in areas where violation rates are high, the highest for public safety, because we don't want anybody to get injured. We are looking for officers and a dispatcher, so we currently have 3 officers positions and a dispatcher position. So I encourage residents, if anyone's interested or knows someone that's interested, have them apply. We get our 2 new patrol vehicles hopefully next week. It's been taking forever to get them upfitted, but I've been hounding them every week for the last couple months. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks we have them. Some notable incidents. We made an arrest on a first-degree assault involving a weapon, someone pointing a weapon. There's some other ones in there. You can look at my report online to see those. And then some of the goals that we have, we need to increase staffing. We have, that impacts staffing a lot when we're just down a couple people. So if you know anyone that wants to apply, please encourage them. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. And I think it was in Mr. Wood's report, not referenced in here, but there were a couple folks who spoke to us tonight about immigration concerns, and I want to just give you an opportunity to share what you had explained to the residents on the call. I guess it was 2 Tuesdays ago. It'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow, actually, because there's information out there, but I want people to understand from your perspective the other side of the situation.
Yeah, so I have kind of a unique position in which, I lived in Guatemala for 3 months. My wife's Spanish, she doesn't speak English. I've been through the immigration thing a lot with dealing with immigration, with having her family members deal with them, so I understand the fear that they have. There's limitations that our department has, and I know that the county has recently passed legislation dealing with allowing ICE on their parking lots and allowing them in their public spaces. The town of Bladensburg doesn't have that. If they're parked in our parking lot, it's not that we're collaborating with them, because we don't. We don't help them serve immigration, deportation orders, civil orders. If it's a criminal matter or if it's an officer safety issue, then of course we'll get involved. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We want the same things that you all want. We don't want ICE stopping people just because of the way they look. There should be some kind of reason that they're stopping them, that they're going after a particular person. We don't want them violating people's rights. The county did pass the law with the masks, that law enforcement are not supposed to wear masks. And we have brought that up when we've seen them. Look, the county has this law, you're not supposed to wear masks. Whether they're going to listen to us or not, we're in a kind of difficult position, because we don't want to interfere with what they're doing. And sometimes, people will call and say they see ICE in our parking lot, and it might be one of our canine officers, because they wear the same type of uniform. It's a green uniform, so they may confuse them. And we've had people follow some of our officers thinking that they were ICE when they were actually undercover officers. So that's dangerous for them. We don't want that to happen. But I just want you to understand that if we're doing anything with ICE, it's to assist any of the immigrants. Like one time they brought someone to the station, they wanted to use the bathroom. I authorized that because I don't want them to have to drive them all the way to Baltimore, wherever they're going, and have them suffer when we can look out for them and have them use the bathroom here. So we have very limited interaction with them. We don't know when they're in town, where they're going to go. They don't tell us about any of their operations that they're doing. We just want to make sure that when they do have interactions, that they're not violating people's rights. And we have a duty to intervene if there's something that's going on that's criminal. Hopefully that's not going to happen, but that's our stance. There's not much we can do about moving them off of. We've had them on the fire department parking lot, which is private property. On private property, they're not supposed to be there. If someone doesn't want them there, they can tell them to leave because it's private property. Through this research, I found out that the postmaster was concerned because they were on the post office property, and I initially thought that was federal property, but it's actually private property owned by the, it's leased to them, it's owned by the fire department, so it's private property. So I encourage if someone has ICE out there and they're wearing masks and they don't think that they're ICE, they can always call the police department and we can go and confirm. Other than that, we're not transporting anyone for them. We're not pulling people over for them to serve immigration, civil warrants. We're not doing any of that. So that's the stance with the police department.
Thank you so much, Chief, for just enlightening everyone about. Before Mr. Gray yells, sorry, the button did not depress. But thank you for that overview and just laying everything out there, because I knew about the situation with the person who needed to use the bathroom, but what public members were saying is, oh, Bladensburg's cooperating with ICE, when that wasn't the case. It was the humane thing to do to let the person use the restroom. And it's just one small example of how one small thing can be distorted and turned into a different narrative that is not correct. And so I appreciate you just explaining from your perspective what has been done, what the town will do, and particularly want to note the duty to intervene, because that general order was passed in, I think it was 2021, following the George Floyd murder. And the prior chief, talked with the council about that and just really holding officers accountable. If you see someone who's a law enforcement officer crossing the line, you have a duty to intervene. And if not, you will be held responsible to the full extent of the law. That is our expectation. But again, we will continue doing our part, doing our research to figure out if there are other methods that we can take as well. But thank you for that.
I'd like to add one more thing. Also, in our previous discussion, there was an idea of having a liaison for the police department for concerns with immigration. I thought that was a great idea. I've since spoken to Sergeant Ramirez, who's in our community action team, and she's going to be the liaison. She's bilingual. She speaks Spanish. So if there's any concerns, they can reach out to her. If it's something that's more important or urgent or an emergency, they can always call the communications dispatcher, and we can send someone out if need be. Thank you.
And I appreciate you doing that. I wasn't writing you about it only because I understood the staffing issues, particularly with patrol, and understand this issue is important, but the day-to-day operations still have to go on, and needed to give you time to work through that. So thank you for designating someone, and also someone who is bilingual and knows the community. She grew up here and now works here, so I don't think you could have picked a better person to serve in that role. So that completes the public safety update. Now we're going to have code enforcement from the time enforcer over here.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have a very brief report this month. Our main focus this month has been focused on business license renewal throughout the town of Bladensburg, which is a very, very, very time-consuming thing. We have just shy of about 200 businesses, so we pay visits to each and every business in town. And so far, we're probably about 80% with the returns of the businesses coming in. We're continuing with apartment inspections. I will admit it did slow down for the month of June just because of the business licensing. We've had 85 abandoned vehicles in the town of Bladensburg. We were able to assist Public Works with several different functions throughout the community. And again, big shout out for the fireworks crew. Everything went good. Heat was horrible, but we made it happen. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Reinhardt. We appreciate your support as always. And Town Administrator, I'll hold the clerk update for your TA update since you're kind of wearing both hats, and go to Public Works next, if that's okay. All right.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, and residents and audience right here. This month of June, Public Works did multiple job tasks. As one of them, we have a lot of stuff going on at the Bostwick House where we have architects just trying to look underneath the structure of the barn. And as we rode around there to try to look underneath the structure, we noticed probably about a ton, literally, of old wood, so nobody could get in through there. So the guys took like a half a day and loaded up the truck, so he was able to get in there the next day, which was a short notice, but the guys was able to do as they always do, work immediately. And also we assist code with a lot of cleanup in the industrial area. It's just getting a little bit out of control, but we had to do a whole run for about a half a day, with all the guys, and we probably had at least 2 truckloads of debris and everything that we loaded up from down there. And while we was cleaning up down there, where a lot of people were hanging out underneath the railroad tracks down there, I noticed it was a couple of no parking signs that was missing. Evidently, they took them down or may have hit them and stuff like that. So, our guys, we installed it. Another no parking sign. That way, you can have 3 no parking signs in the middle. In the middle, so there's no confusion of is no parking right here. And hoping that'll help some of the cars stay from out there. And also, excuse me, due to the heavy buses on 58, they're not just the heavy buses. It's just traffic. Period. We had to remove an old crosswalk and try to put another one down on the concrete. This is not asphalt that we're putting it down. We have a concrete little valley to help the waterway come through, and a lot of material just don't want to stick to concrete. So every year we have to kind of like redo it every year. And I want to give the guys a heads up because this year was the first time that we scraped the whole crosswalk and then added more paint down. And I was proud to see that. And matter of fact, the paint that I used was from a company that I've learned from MML, Seal Master. I never used them before, but they have a great product that all my white paint that we were using in town, like the crossbars and all that, we'll start using that because it lasts longer and is more durable. And when we put down anything, or as y'all know, we have so much painted curves, stop bars, crosswalk in town, so actually we go through probably about $7,000 worth of white paint and yellow paint throughout the town. So if there's anything that we can get that's more durable, that can, we don't have to come back every year to repaint it, it's a whole lot better on our staff, because as y'all know, we have so much that we try to do with 7 people, and I want to take my hats off to them guys as well, and myself as well, for constantly digging and grinding with doing what we have to do.
We definitely appreciate
it. And Juneteenth, I want to thank Solomon and Mr. Conrad Watson for assisting everybody with the painting of the benches out here. And as y'all know, we already have installed 2 of them benches. One is right here on 53rd in Annapolis, where a bus shelter was knocked down a long time ago, and we had some requests for another bench right there. And also on 58th, right across from the, what is that? I apologize. The new condos up there. Bladen's condos is a bench. Somebody broke one of the benches that we did last year, so we was able to put this bench, and these benches that we're making now is a little bit more sturdier than the ones we had. And also, I want to give our hats off to the guys again for being so creative. I know y'all see some little sculptures out front and different little things that the guys are just being creative, and some of this is part of what I've learned when we went to Ohio for the American in Bloom. You know, so some of this stuff, and none of this stuff that we got cost anything. This was recyclable. Oh, I'm sorry. Time up.
Not to interrupt you, but, you know.
That's
all
good. I mean,
good stuff.
basically,
all
the
good
rest
stuff.
of it is on the report.
Just one.
I apologize.
One question though for you and the team is, could we install some cameras to catch the dumping in the business area?
We look.
Okay.
We looking into that right now. Yes.
Perfect.
I was gonna say, to answer that, Mayor and Council, yes, we do have some trail cameras that we are relocating throughout town. So we are going to be in the process of working with our detectives to get that taken care of and squared away.
Perfect. Thank you both. And Mr. Hall, please thank the team for all their hard work. We
Yes,
definitely
ma'am.
appreciate
And
them.
one thing I just want to echo, I know I don't have time, I'm sorry, but the collaboration with SHA, I mean, I just want to take my hats off to my guys.
Yes.
You know, for working through straight 6 hours, you know. Yeah, we didn't get a lunch break. Neither part got a lunch break. So today we went back out there, and thanks to the town, we fed them. You know?
Nice.
Yes.
But thank you for the collaboration there, because as I said to Senator Augustine, the issue is if we just say we're not going to help you with anything, this infrastructure project is going to fall to the bottom of their priority list. And so that effort that you guys took, being out there, getting that area cleared, cleaning it up, goes so long in terms of that relationship and goodwill building. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And just know Senator sees it. He told you when he saw you that he appreciated all the work that you guys are doing. And so just know he's an advocate and he's pushing on SHA from his side to help support us. So we truly appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. We got some more work to do, but as they see the way that we come in there, then I think everybody will fall in line too.
Agreed.
As well, you know.
Agreed. All right. So last but certainly not least, Mr. Town Administrator Wood / Clerk, over to you.
Good evening. I'll be fairly brief, but do want to just echo what an awesome team we have all around the board. So speaking of where Pernell kind of left off, we have our American in Bloom judges coming July 20th and 21st. This will be a great 2-day opportunity to showcase our community, a lot of the great work that the guys have been doing all around town. We've developed a pretty robust itinerary that will engage the community, staff, council, and so we're really excited about it. Obviously, a big tip of the cap to Ray as well, who's been spearheading that effort. He was showing me little recycled bees today that I think y'all put out. Anyways, it's been I've learned a lot, but it's a great program to say the least. Next conversation, I think we've talked about a great deal, but I do just want to thank a number of community residents that we had the opportunity to speak with a couple of weeks ago, the chief and myself, and to reiterate, I think what Ms. Greenstone spoke about earlier today with regards to immigration and customs enforcement. I think the meeting was very productive, but more importantly, it was honest and collaborative. I think we had a pretty open dialogue about the concerns that a number of our community members were feeling, and discussed several meaningful actions that the town can take. I think the chief articulated one already, which was around the community liaison. We're finalizing kind of a informational one-pager that's going to go out via social media and on the website, just articulating it is okay if you don't know if somebody is an agent or you feel unsafe, please call our officers. We will go out, and then highlighting a lot of the work that the CAT team and a number of other community members have done to reestablish relationships and trust that we've talked about. And so we talked about that, but also that ongoing dialogue and communication. I know we have, or we're going to try and have a meeting scheduled in in August to kind of talk about what we are doing and what we will continue to do, and that this is not something that's going to be solved overnight, but it's going to be an iterative process. But the town council staff are committed to it, just as we know our residents are. So thankful for that meeting. And then just kind of looking forward. It's crazy, but it's already here. FY28 grant planning is upon us. So we'll be working through that. And I'll share more with that at our retreat council. So yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Wood, for all your hard work. At this time, we'll transition to mayor and council reports, beginning with Ward 1 with Councilmember Trina Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, would like to thank all the residents, who participated this evening, and then for the ones who are online, watching us online, and to the mayor and the council. This right here, we're wrapping up our about to go on break for 1 month. So, but I definitely want to thank our staff for just all the tremendous amount of work that you all do all year long. I mean, out there that day in the heat. And not that day, because I think Public Works, it's like, our Public Works Department and the Police Department, you all, and Code Enforcement, you all work in the heat every day, every day. So, that doesn't go unnoticed, and we just can't, say enough thank yous, because we know that you're here to do a job, but you all do it, and you all do it well, and you all do it with commitment, respect, dedication, and perseverance. So we thank you all so very much. I've attended a lot of meetings, a lot of activities and things that have happened here in the town this year. So I just want want the residents to stay safe, to stay hydrated, and to also know that we are here for you all. We did have another one of our community meetings this past Saturday that was attended. So we had some things that, some follow-up items that came out of our community meetings. So we are here for the community. We will continue to listen to the community. We will continue to work with the community. And it's our hope that the community continues to work with us as well, because the councilors, we live here in this town as well. So it's not like we pack up and we go, we go home somewhere else. So we live in this town as well, and we want all of our residents to be safe. And we also wanted to thank our police department, because we actually, we do have a very awesome police department. As I say, we live here. We raising our families here. We go to sleep here at night, and so we do want to thank our police department for doing a wonderful job in serving and protecting. And also, once again, congratulations to you, Mayor James, on your presidency with MML, and I'm sure that it's going to be a very exciting time for you this year. Let us know what you need, to be here to support. And then once again, happy 250th anniversary.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown.
Thank you so very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Have a safe summer. Be safe. Stay hydrated.
Yes, please.
All right. Over to you, Councilmember Dixon, also for Ward 1.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, residents. First, I want to start off by saying congratulations to our Mayor James on rising to MML president. Congratulations. Wish you all the best in that new role. I know you're going to do great. All right, let me get into my... Okay. Okay, let me get into my... Okay. So first, I attended the MML conference and also the CRF meeting. At the CRF meeting, they provide an update on the current infectious disease threat, that including the Ebola rising that's going on now, the outbreak. I attend the county executive and municipal mayor's meeting where you provide updates from your town and the issues that the town is facing and what we need help with. 4th of July celebration, I attend that as well. It was a great event. I just want to say thanks to the staff for putting it together. I sat on the Bladenswood meeting just in support to our residents. Also, I attend the MML committee orientation. I am a MML engagement and outreach committee member now. The COG meeting, my community walk, just to hear what resident has to say, their concerns. And also meeting with myself and Mayor James, meeting with Mr. Martin Cruz on the issues of ICE that is present in our community. Thank you. Sean, I gave you back some time.
A whole minute. Thank you, Councilmember Dixon. Now we'll transition to Ward 2, beginning with Councilmember Carol McBride.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you to our Bladensburg Fire Department. I experienced something during the 4th of July event of heat exhaustion. Never experienced it in my life. And just so happened that somebody took notice that I didn't look right, and they pulled me inside. And just so happened that, what's our chief, fire department chief? Sumner. Chief Sumner was right there, and then he had the other ones to come in and put ice packs on me. So I'm truly grateful for that, because I never experienced and didn't know what it felt like. But I was glad people were alert. And let's see, I attended the, well, I was late attending, but the Little Police Cadets award ceremony. And I did go in, I had the opportunity to what am I getting tongue-tied? Congratulate them. I also was asked by, and I want to say that Pastor Rouse, Theodore Rouse, who moved his church to the Salvation Army, well, he moved back to Bladensburg, to the Word of God Church with his grandfather, where he originally belonged. And so I want to say thank you and welcome back, Pastor Rouse. He also had a prayer breakfast with Councilmember Blunt's residents, and he asked me to come as the church mother. So I did attend, and only to visit. Didn't have any words to say. And so I'm just grateful for what I'm allowed to do in the town of Bladensburg. Thank you, Mayor James. Congratulations on your position. I'm just glad to be here. Glad I'm at the end of the year. Have a safe summer, everyone, and enjoy yourself. Please stay safe.
Thank you, Councilmember. Thank you, Councilmember McBride, for your report. Now we'll continue with Ward 2 with Councilmember Blunt.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, first I'd like to thank the officers for coming into the Emerson House building and arresting someone who just got out the next day when he got arrested. But I know they did their job. It's the courts have to do better, and I'm working on that. I'm also working on, what is that thing called? Squatters. Okay. That thing is unreal. So I'll be going into the court system to find out how that operates and bring that back to department heads in Bladensburg and to any other building, because having squatters, because we have two. And unfortunately, management companies lose money and the whole 9 yards, but I will be doing my study on that squatter thing and bringing that back so that we'll know how to be aware and how not to get played and victimized, and mainly it's family members a lot of times. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. Also, I finally finalized the department heads that I would like to come out to Bladensburg and talk to the seniors about issues that they're dealing with when trying to get services from the departments that is put there to help them. Poor service. We have poor service in PG County, and sorry, I must say, to help seniors is very poor, and they need the help. Other than that, I graduated. I passed all my classes, and not passed, but MML. So we'll be graduating later on. So I'm really excited about that, and I think I really like to say thank you to my job for allowing me to come in and work, and now I'm in a position into politics. Me and politics, wow. But again, thank you. But I mean, that's all I have to say. I know this in the summer. I understand the heat exhaustion. It happens to many people. You don't know that it's going to happen, but just be careful and drink plenty of water. Also, I have not seen ice myself. I have not witnessed anything, but perception is everything, and everybody's perceptions are different. So if we lollygagging out there with someone we potentially think is out here to harm our residents in any kind of way, yeah, we would probably think it, but allow people to have what their perceptions are, and also bring it back to the council. As you can see, that they're already meeting with officials pertaining to ICE and what they're here for. My grandson works from Homeland Security office. I called him and asked how did that work, and unfortunately they have rights too, and hopefully they're not here harming anyone. But again, and we hoping that I don't know how it works, but like the mayor, I trust that they're working with officials to try to see how we can. Did that thing ring on me? Oh, I'm sorry. But again, but yeah, I'm real sorry. But everybody have a job to do. But I hope they do it. Respect, just keeping respect, and perception again is everything, and everybody's perceptions are different. And again, when you hear from us again, I'll be seeing the seniors at the senior gathering. Again, Ray Jeffrey is putting together. I took that 110, but the senior gathering is September. So again. Are they playing the music for me? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. That's you. Oh, that's you, Mr. Weiss. Okay,
Mr. Weiss, wow.
Okay.
He played the music. Oh, man. Oh, man,
Really,
we're in trouble.
Mr. Weiss, when you come back, that's why you come back. Okay. All right.
He brings
but
the music.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. I will try to be brief as well. June was a very busy month. I have my full written report there. The bulk of it focuses on a lot of meetings that took place during MML and prior to. But one thing I want to call out is the Prince George's Gateway Development Authority. We did meet in June. Bladensburg hosted. Senator Augustine was here, and so was Delegate Ivy. And we've had some leadership changes within the authority, and so it's just really important for us to understand, while we're codified, just like West, North, and Baltimore, we have some very distinct differences. And so state funding has been issued to the authority. However, we don't have the same level of decision-making as the authority in Baltimore. And that is not to put our legislators down. It's just the reality of how they constructed that law. And so as such, we just needed to do some level setting with expectations to show that we will make decisions in accordance with what our authority is. We can't be looked at and judged by the West North development. But for those who aren't aware, that money is really to help us revitalize these inner Beltway communities that tend to get less of the state funding. And so I think that's going to be a huge help to us. Jumping to MML really quickly, was honored to become president during the closing session. But one of the honors that the administration extends is you get a sort of closed door meeting with the governor. And so during that time, as I mentioned earlier, there were a range of issues that we covered, ICE also being one of them, because we know that he is not on our president's favorite list, and as such, that puts Maryland in a certain category. And my best advice is we will do what we can, but the reality is midterms matter. Elections have consequences, and if you really want to change this, then you need to show up and vote come November, because that is how you shift this. It's a federal issue that's becoming a local issue, and we can't solve it all on our own. I do want to call out some of the things that Comptroller Learman shared with us, and I think it's important to note. She has totally transformed that comptroller's office and has reconstructed the unclaimed property program. And because of her leadership, $121 million has been returned to its rightful owners. If you are in the state of Maryland and you think you might have money out there that's been left to you and you need help claiming it, that website is www.claimitmd.gov. And you need to really go on there to see, what resources may have been left to you or a family member. Throughout the event, it was great to have visibility, not just from the governor, but the lieutenant governor and the cabinet secretaries. And so there were some tremendous conversations that I think are going to help us on all of our fronts, from Boswick House to the Municipal Center. So I just look forward to the follow-up that comes from there. And really quick, Mayor Privilege, I noticed the handout that was supposed to be attachment number 1 didn't come through, so I'll reprint that for the council. But it's the civility pledge from National League of Cities. So their board signed the civility pledge for a code of conduct for how we treat each other as elected officials, how we engage respectfully. And so I do want to encourage the council to read the pledge. I printed copies when I realized it wasn't here, and I'll give them to you after the meeting. But I think we should talk about this at the board retreat and sign on to it as a public stance for how we're going to not just treat each other, but how we're going to conduct ourselves as community leaders. So with that, that concludes my report. Again, it's written and included with the staff reports. That brings us to the end of our agenda for tonight. Council, is there a motion to adjourn?
I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any comments or questions before we adjourn?
I have a comment. I just want to, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to say thanks to the police department. I had a break-in at my house. It's a car that was broken into my driveway. And I didn't call 911. We called straight to Bladensburg Police Station, and they came in less than like a minute and, took care of it. Chief got all the videos and stuff. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Sean, for getting that raccoon out the street.
Thank you for those comments. So with that, council, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? No nays. We're adjourned. See you all in September. Happy summer.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks.